So, hello, and welcome back to GraceNicoleMyths, Astrology and Tarot. Please be aware, if you are new to the channel, I do not sugarcoat my messages, and I have no filter. So, for all of you that say,
I want the truth!
Some of you absolutely can and will handle the truth here just fine. Others of you, well,
you can't handle the truth!
At least not yet, and that's okay. I trust when you're ready, you'll find yourself back here liking my videos as a subscriber in divine time. For those of you who are self-aware enough to stay and listen, drop a like and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. With that said, always take readings how they resonate with you. If you are confused about the message of a reading, I always recommend coming back in about 2 weeks' time and seeing it with different eyes. Most of the time, if you're confused about a reading, you're trying to connect it with a scenario that it's not actually pertaining to. So no matter how tempting it is to listen to this and try and connect the dots to someone else in your experience, understand they're in your experience because of something you are learning through witnessing them to begin with as a divine mirror. So no matter how tempting it is to connect it to someone else, know that I am always reading it to help you better understand yourself and your own healing. Also know, if you look at the image, it represents the 12 houses of your birth chart. Okay, so we all have all of them. If I note certain astrological signs or planets, it's either because that is what is specifically healing in your chart right now, or is being recognized in the reading as the area that is healing, or it is being aspected by the different things going on in the current cosmos that's bringing it up. So just because I say a certain sign and it's not your sign does not mean it's someone else. It's most likely a certain area in your chart that's being acknowledged, or it's a certain aspect going on in the current cosmos that is reflecting on the different healings going on in your own chart. Now I'm ready if you're ready. So let's begin. Okay, so these are the full moon in Leo highest good secret code name readings. These readings are purchased by individuals through my Etsy shop and are their personal readings. However, if you are drawn to a secret code name, chances are there's a message in it for you. This is secret code name Daisies. If you'd ever like your own secret code name, the link to my Etsy is in the description below. Okay, so secret code name Daisies for this full moon in Leo, the highest good. All right, helping us understand what our highest good is moving forward from this moon, this energy. I'm going to read the guidance to you first. I pulled from my White Light Oracle, and then a major arcana from my Patch Tarot, and then got some more details from the Patch Tarot about it and why the guidance is the way it is. So let me read to you Alpha of Alcyone so that you can understand. Okay. It says, a positive twist of fate and a windfall of good fortune are destined for you. Brightness and hope will alleviate negativity and give you the strength to find your way through a time of adversity or challenge. Finally, you will experience peace, love, and deep connection with your true self and the universe. Good things are on their way to you. The brightest star in the Pleiades star system, Alcyone, holds the frequency of love, the sacred feminine healing power of compassion, and the grace of mercy. In the myths of ancient Greece, Alcyone was so in love with her husband Ceyx that she referred to him as Zeus, and he referred to her as the divine wife of Zeus, Hera. And Zeus was so irritated by such grandiosity that when Ceyx was at sea, Zeus struck his ship with a lightning bolt. In her grief, Alcyone threw herself into the sea. Moved by mercy, the gods transformed the lovers into kingfishers. These birds embody the spiritual medicine of abundance, love, prosperity, peace, and happiness, bringing blessings of hope and healing to humanity. Alcyone is the goddess of grace and mercy, especially in the face of heart-wrenching loss. She reassures us that we will find a way through and that there is comfort for us when we need it, even if further work needs to be done before we can fully be released into a new era of happiness. When 𝐴lpha of 𝐴lCone makes an appearance, we are near to the deepest, darkest phase of our suffering and can trust we are ready to begin to emerge on the other side. The oracle of 𝐴lpha of 𝐴lCone supports us in relaxing and reconnecting to optimism, even during tough times. In such a state, we will realize that difficulties will eventually come to an end and we will be provided for. The oracle brings guidance that a new reality of happiness is available to us even now, as we steadily make our way to the light of a happy new start. And it came out with the Hanged Man as the major arcana, which is surrender versus rejection, right? Surrendering into the self versus rejecting the self, surrendering to our highest good path versus rejecting our highest good path. It comes out with the Ten of Wands, and it's clarified by the Three of Swords, the Ace of Swords clarified by the King of Cups, the Seven of Discs clarified by the Three of Cups, and the Eight of Cups clarified by the Seven of Cups. Now, metaphorically, right, the story of 𝐴lCone is that even when something terrible is going on, if you could submit yourself to the end of who you thought you were and how you defined yourself, you can be reborn into the light that you were always meant to be in, right? That the universe would show you mercy. The Ten of Wands depicts a phoenix pulling the cage that the dove is locked in off the fires, or at least attempting to, because the dove inside is burning up, right? And this Three of Swords is clarifying the suffering. If you feel your soul is trapped, if you feel like your light is being consumed, this is a sign for you to not be indecisive and stay where you're being consumed, that you would suffer in it, but rather to acknowledge that your soul is in fact suffering and choose to resolve it. The Ace of Swords, realization versus uncertainty, being clarified by responsive versus misery with the King of Cups. Especially if you're dealing with someone who is constantly miserable, no matter what you do, you can't make them happy. You can't make them happy. And if it's infringing on your own happiness, that you feel like you're constantly trying to be the one pulling them out from their depths, you kind of need to do it for yourself. You have to be able to trust that no matter what happens to them in your absence, that it will be okay and for the better in the long run. This is an investment that you're making with the Seven of Discs. It's an investment to create abundance instead of being a glutton for punishment or a glutton for the waiting game. Allow yourself to know that this one is special, whoever they are for you, and that your absence is only going to result in the highest good, because you can't actually be a crutch for someone or go down with them on the ship. You can't sync with them. Renunciation versus abandonment in the 8 of Cups. With the 7 of Cups, illusion versus greed. Renunciation is the act of formally rejecting something or formally making an action that you're choosing known and letting something go. It is actually having that conversation, that very mature conversation, that as much as you love a person, care about a person, that you can't actually continue through the storm that they're in with them because it's becoming your own storm. And it's not fair to you. To deal with this unfulfilling energy where you don't necessarily know what to do or what to choose. You would have to formally explain to this person why you're going and that you love them and you're not going for any other reason. You know, you're not going to be with someone else. You're not going because you have to pursue this elsewhere. You're not going for, you know, any other reason except that you know that you are not their savior, that they need to save themselves, and that when they do, that your love will still be there. You know what I mean? That they would be able to call you as a healed individual, and you would be able to relate to them as a healed individual. Because I think it would only be to both of your detriments, and that you would consistently be waiting for someone to change or someone to get better, and working at it for what is essentially no result. Too many other things are falling to the wayside that you need to focus on because your energy is being consumed. Your life force energy, your soul fire energy is being consumed. It's a spiritual burden to take on the crosses of someone else and make them your own to bear. I don't think that you and this person, whoever they are for you, is meant to be apart from you forever. Matter of fact, I would advise against getting involved with someone else if it's romantic between you and this person. I would resist getting involved in a new relationship that's not why you're leaving. You know what I mean? You're not leaving because you want something new. You want who you're with, but you can't stay and drown with them. You have to be able to trust, right? You have to be able to trust that both of you will come out of the experience better because of the choice. Knowing that if it's in your highest good to go, that you can, and that it will work out. Because if it doesn't feel good where you're at, like if it's not a fuck yeah, it's a fuck no. It's one of those things that I'm always talking about. If it doesn't feel good, it's not in alignment. And sometimes in order for things to feel better, we have to go through the darkest moment to come out on the other side with the rainbow. So, as difficult as it may seem, if you can trust in the highest good that moving on from this person, letting them know that, you know, it's not that you don't love them or care about them. It's just you can't have yourself under that kind of spiritual pressure, that it isn't truly fair to you, that, you know, you want them to be happy. You want them to feel light. You want them to love who they are. You want them to have the confidence in themselves. You want them to be inspiring. And you can't actually bring that out of them. And it hurts you to be around them knowing that they're consistently resisting it. it doesn't feel good to keep trying and keep trying and keep trying to pull their potential out of them, and they won't let it. It's like dealing with a daily failure, you know what I mean? And trying to stay positive, and that's not the way it works. You have to let the idea of failing go so that success can actually come in. You know, and I'm not saying you have to cut this person off completely or whatever, but it's like needing to separate and put physical space between you so that you can just kind of be in your own energy again without their energy consuming yours. All right. Know that it's in your highest good. That is the whole intention of this reading. Look forward to the outcome, even if the process is not what you are most comfortable with. All right. I have faith that this will help you in the divine time when you catch it. Thank you so much, Secret Codename Daisies, for being a part of this event. Know all the reviews left in my shop are greatly appreciated. Most certainly let me know how it resonates. Shoot me a PM if you'd like. My love and support are with you always. Remember to love each other, but most importantly, love yourself. Take care.